Hi everyone, I'm Glorynicole. You're probably more used to hearing me singing than speaking, but to mark the 1 year anniversary of my very first release, Connect to Disconnect, I thought I'd do a lyrical lowdown and give you a behind the scenes tour of my songwriting process and how the song came to be. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, after the short intro, you'll hear me sing that very first line. Sitting here staring at my window, reminiscing on time gone by. Things seemed oh so simple, thinking of a yesterday. Now that line actually started off as a joke. I was sitting in this room staring out this very same self bedroom window looking for inspiration. I had a bit of writer's block. And I actually had that light bulb eureka moment, you could call it. And I thought, oh, I actually really like that. I'll keep it. And it was a gateway into the rest of the song. And then I go on to sing, I miss the days we just sit and talk for hours. Long days, late nights. We just should breeze. Hashtag I miss real speech. Please do call me when you can. Your tone, your voice, the essence of you. That was just a nod to me saying sometimes it's nice to just pick up the phone without all the, social media interface, FaceTime, video calling, and just saying, I miss you, or just want to hear your voice, your tone, the intonation. Just simply hearing someone's voice and taking away all the fandangled technology and just simply speaking to somebody, It's that very basic, human, honest level of communication. And then here comes the pre-chorus, which was one of my favourite lyrics. I have to say, I shouldn't have favourites, but I do. It goes, gone are the days of no social media, real conversation, more interaction. Gone are the days of the cassette tape, VHS video, hi-fi stereo. Now, I'm here sitting here saying, gone are the days of no social media. The irony is not completely lost on me, I have to say, because I'm sitting here recording this on my mobile phone and uploading it to a social media platform. So don't at me. I realise how ironic that lyric actually is. Now, then I go on to say about the days of cassette tapes and VHS videos. So let me caveat this by saying, for those of you who do not know what cassette and VHS tapes are, which I'm sure most of you of a certain time probably do, or your parents, aunts, uncles, friends would have told you about, cassette tapes, you had to rewind them with a pencil. If the tape broke, well, you had to buy another cassette tape. There wasn't the streaming, downloading option. So that wasn't really a thing. And the VHS tapes were the precursor to, the DVD and Blu-rays of this era. You'd go down to Blockbusters on a weekend after school or work and rent a VHS tape for the weekend. That's not an endorsement, by the way, of that particular store. But most people don't know what Blockbusters is. I'm not sure they're even open anymore. But there we are. And then I go into the very first chorus, which goes, connect just to disconnect. Our voices seem to have lost effect. Let's all unplug to plug back in. Let's not lose what makes us human. Now, connect to disconnect, it's exactly what it says on the tin. You log into whatever chosen social media platform you use, which are multiple these days, and whilst you're connected to the rest of the world, you're disconnected in some senses because sometimes you lose what is immediately around you. Now, I'm guilty of this myself, I have to be honest. And I think, the technology is fabulous, but sometimes we just lose that instant human connection that we initially started with. Not to say that technology is a bad thing, but it would be nice just to sit and have a simple conversation without your phone or any other distractions, yada yada. You know the drill. And that last line, let's not lose what makes us human. Communication is the most simple, basic form, apart from body language, of communication. You know? And then I loop back into the verse, and that first line goes, I guess you'd say I was old school, a dinosaur to the modern age. I'm the CD to your streaming, but more and more, all we ever say is... No, I am slightly old school because I'm talking about VHS tapes and cassettes. The generation under me, some of them don't even know what a cassette tape is. I wouldn't know what to do with it. A cassette player, they'd be like, what is that? A dinosaur to the modern age. Now, this line I particularly like because it was a conversation I had with a member of staff at one of my very favourite Thai restaurants in central London. If you know what restaurant it is, you know. And we were talking about all the new sparkly tech, and I said, I'm a little bit of a dinosaur to all this modern technology. And later I went to work and I said, oh, actually, that conversation I had with that guy earlier, I actually really liked that line because it stuck out in my head, and I kept it in the song. And this pre-chorus, the second pre-chorus, again, as I said, these are my favourite parts of the songs. It says, snap me, DM me, Insta queen, just want you to speak to me. Emojis, funny memes, in my day we had Tamagotchis. Now, for those of you who do not know what Tamagotchis are, they were little electronic toys. They had batteries in. It's not, you know, they weren't electronically powered or charged with a USB cable. And there were different ones. I think they had dinosaur ones. I had a little one with a weird little pixeled baby that you had to feed and look after. But if you, again, go and look at the toy. I'm probably not doing it a service at the moment, but it was cooler than it sounds. Trust me on this one. And then the second half of the pre-chorus goes, I dial the house phone, area code 0171. Hello, Mrs. Jones, can Tommy come to the phone? Now, before the era of mobile phones and social media platforms, you actually had to dial your friend or relatives or whoever's house phone. And if you wanted to speak to them, that particular person, you'd have to say, hello, Mrs. Jones, can so-and-so come to the phone, please? You couldn't just direct your friend, are you coming out to play today? You actually had to call the house. And that area code was the area code for where I lived at the time. I don't even know if that area code still exists anymore. That's to tell you how old school it is. And then I loop back into the chorus again. And I get slightly philosophical on the bridge. It goes, I'm not resistant to change, but there are things I'd like to stay the same. I liked when morals were cool, you respected me, I respected you. We have the world at our hands, but choose to be a world unto ourselves. Then have the nerve to complain and nothing is now the same. We do indeed have the world in our hands. Literally, I can connect to anywhere and anyone in the world at any given time zone. You know that because you have a lot of so-called keyboard warriors, as they're labelled now, that lack of boundaries sometimes doesn't seem to exist anymore. And I think that's what I was trying to allude to in the bridge. And then obviously the chorus plays out until the end. Now, I hope that's given you some kind of, you know, behind the scenes insight into how I write songs. I like to go from my own life and invite you into my songwriting process. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for sticking with it. And if you haven't heard the song, go stream it, go download it. Glorynicole on all major platforms. And the link's in my bio. More music to come, and have a fabulous rest of the year. Thank you very much.